Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zarina Graywell. I'm a professor of American Studies in the City, Race and Migration and Religious Studies at Yale University. I'm also, since 2015, I've been visiting faculty at Bayan, and it's been just such a pleasure for me to work with I won't call them students, I'll call them colleagues in training, to think about together the challenges and opportunities and possibilities of American Muslim communities in the US. And so I've been teaching a course for a couple of years now there on the both history and social life of American Muslim communities and all their diversity, and thinking about the challenges around authority, but also around issues of social justice. And I encountered Imam Tariq, I encountered you in that course in March of 2020, early March of 2020, a time I think everyone can remember exactly where they were, the very beginning of the pandemic. And we began that session, the first day, collectively thinking about the kind of Muslim communities that we aspired to be part of, that we needed to be part of, that we wanted to be part of, and also that we were willing to work to create. And I remember very vividly and how poetically you described the kind of loving and just community that you aspired to be a part of, but also that you'd spent many years building with Masjid al-Taqwa in Chicago. And so, of course, you, as many Bayan students, bring an enormous amount of experiential knowledge, all kinds of bodies of knowledge to that classroom space where we think together. And that was a really transformative experience for me, and it was just quite humbling to be in conversation with you and the other members of the Bayan community as we thought about both the challenges of various kinds of inequality and fractures within the Muslim community, and that ideal of the Ummah and the potential of it. And I remain moved and often think back on your leadership and what you shared with us in that classroom. And we all benefited from that. I certainly benefited so much and learned so much from you. And then just a few months later, all of us, I think, at that moment were really metabolizing the realities that the pandemic was not simply a global public health crisis, but a crisis, a racial crisis, a crisis around class, a crisis around citizenship, gender, all these factors that were shaping how one would experience and did experience the pandemic. And then a few months later, of course, that was we were once again reminded of that with the brutal murder of George Floyd, and we got to witness your leadership, not just in Chicago, but nationally in the American Muslim community and beyond. And it was just really wonderful to see that, and also to reflect now that you spent the time that we've all had to think about how to spend our time during this periods of on and off lockdowns, of restricted travel, of essential kinds of personal emergency, higher needs in the communities that you serve, and yet you took the time to continue to hone your skills and your talents by being part of the Bayan community, and you completed your degree. And so I want to congratulate you, your family, the community of Masjid al-Taqwa, the community of Chicago, American Muslims collectively. We all will benefit, inshallah, from your future work as we have benefited from your past work and leadership. It is a great blessing for all of us, and I'm just so happy, proud, and excited for you, for us, for in this really wonderful moment to see that you were able to complete this work, and inshallah bil tawfiq in all of your future work. I am so honored to have met you, and I'm so blessed that our paths crossed. So mabruk, alf mabruk, we're so happy. Thank you.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Tariq El-Amin, and I am a 2022 graduate of Bayan University with a MDiv, focus in Islamic chaplaincy. I am truly grateful to be here with you to share just a little bit of my story. I serve as the resident Imam of Masjid al-Taqwa on Chicago's Southeast Side. That's a community in association with the leadership of the late Imam Muhammad. And I have been in that position for just about 10 years now. Throughout that time, I've also, because I'm bivocational, I've also been a journeyman ironworker. That's a skilled tradesman in construction arena. We'll go into that. I've also been the daily host and producer of a program called Radio Islam. I did that for a couple of years as well. And I've done a bunch of other community-oriented things. I started a nonprofit with my wife, Dr. El-Amin, called Bridging the Gap. And I mentioned all of these things simply to say that I was quite busy before I enrolled in Bayan. Quite busy and really under the impression that I would not be able to have time to devote towards the program, towards completing the requirements, towards getting this degree. But what I found was an institution that is very much tailored for the adult learner. It's very much tailored for those people who are already serving in leadership roles, who are already serving communities, who have the responsibilities and the weight of adult life on them, which was just a beautiful blessing. And add on top of that a faculty to have professors that are so renowned, such luminaries that you could learn from, that would help to deepen the appreciation, the knowledge, and expand the breadth of that knowledge of this beautiful tradition. You have just a recipe for success. I have to thank our president, Jihad Turk, the VP, Munir Sheikh, and the administrator, Cesar Dominguez, all who have been instrumental in my success at this institution. There are so many professors that I would love to mention. Dr. Kamila Rashad, Professor Tahar Akmal, Sheikh Fuad. See, I'm about to get myself in trouble because I want to name so many. Professor Morales on the other side. But it's just been a wonderful and a transformative experience. And I believe it has added to my ability to lead and to serve, more importantly, to serve my community, but also to serve humanity. And I believe that's what Bayan represents. It's an opportunity to prepare those who want to serve, and to equip to even greater degrees those who are already serving their communities and humanity. And last but not least, I have to mention my gratitude for the Muhammad Ali Scholarship, to be a recipient. How honored and privileged I am for my accomplishment to also add to the barakah, to add to the blessing and benefit of our dear beloved brother Muhammad Ali, and thank him and his family. That being said, I also have to thank, last but not least, I have to thank my wife. I have to thank my mother, my father, may Allah have mercy on him, God in paradise, my family, community, all for their support throughout this journey, because this is not just an individual endeavor, it is the accomplishment of a community as well. So thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum.